Hello everyone, and welcome to Babylon Leather's official channel. Today, we'll be crafting a men's leather cowboy hat. After completion, this is what your hat looks like. First, check the materials. Begin by taking this clear tubing and pull out a portion of the wire from both ends of the clear tubing. Then, thread the wire through on both sides like this, passing it through the opposite end of the clear tubing. Check the result after assembly, ensuring it forms a loop. There's also a solid tubing. Take this plastic buckle and the string, assemble them like this. First, check all the materials based on the video. First, let's distinguish between the front and back of the leather materials. Look at the pinholes for differentiation. Larger holes indicate the front side. Smaller holes indicate the back side. Locate the marked hole on this material and make a mark like this. Measure the thread to be 6 times the length of the sewn part, then cut it. Each time, you can measure a bit more thread to ensure that there is more than enough available. Thread the needles. Begin threading the needle by passing the thread through the needle eye. Then, pass the needle tip through the middle of the thread. Tighten it, and that completes the threading of the needle. Thread the other needle using the same method. Take this material with the front side facing outward, align it with the pinholes, and either side can be positioned at the top. Start sewing from the first pinhole on the right row, guiding the needle from bottom to top. Then thread through the corresponding pinhole from the bottom to the top. Then, let the second needle pass through the neighboring pinhole. Pull both threads to ensure they remain the same length. Next, have the first needle go through the second pinhole, then tighten the thread. Be careful not to catch the thread. Tighten the thread, and now we successfully start the sewing. Then keep sewing with the double needle sewing method. Don't miss any pinhole. Be careful not to catch the thread. After each stitch, tighten the thread while maintaining a consistent stitching direction. Make sure to pull the thread vertically to avoid damaging the leather material. Note that we are sewing from the top to the bottom. The pinholes at the bottom are smaller. The holes at the top are larger. After sewing is complete, at the bottom, take one of the needles and loop the thread around it once like this. After sewing up, start finishing the thread. Begin by sewing one additional stitch backward to reinforce. Then, pull the thread to the back. Leave a 3 mm thread tail, cut it, and use a lighter to burn off the end to finish securing the thread. Sew the holes in the other row using the same method. Note that there is no need to loop the thread at the top, but it is necessary to loop the thread at the bottom. Take a look at the result after sewing. Then place the material with the bottom facing down and locate the marked hole. Take the hat crown material and place it with the front side facing up. Align the pinhole on the pointed end with the marked hole. Then take the solid tubing and fold it like this. Align the middle of the solid tubing with the marked hole. Take this cord and see if it can pass through the holes in this hat crown material. If it doesn't fit through, trim it with scissors. Be careful not to trim the top of the cord, only narrow it at the points where it doesn't pass through. Trim both ends until it easily passes through. Now, the top of the cord acts like a needle, and the entire cord acts like thread. Align the marked holes of these two materials first. Start sewing from the marked hole, guiding it from the front to the bottom through the material. Then, cut off the marked thread. Take the hat crown material, place it face up, and thread the needle through the marked hole, the hole at the very tip, from bottom to top. Then, take the solid tubing and place it in the middle between the two materials like this. Pull both threads to ensure they remain the same length. Next, take the needle at the top and thread it from bottom to top through the second hole of each of the two materials separately. Make sure to place the solid tubing above all the holes. Then, use this method to sew through all the holes in a complete circle. After each stitch, tighten the thread. Be sure to keep the thread straight and smooth at all times. Complete the circle of holes using this method. Sew both sides simultaneously to maintain even tension. Finally, gather at the intersection of the solid tubing. As you sew towards the end, sewing one hole at a time may provide better precision. For the last hole, both needles should go through, and using your hands to assist in pulling may facilitate the process. After finishing the sewing, take both needles inside and tie a knot to secure. Then, trim off the excess thread. Burn the thread ends with a lighter, being careful not to char them. Take a look at the result after sewing. Measure the thread to be 4 times the length of the sewn part, then thread the needles. The interior of the brim material is oval in shape, resembling an egg. The sharper part corresponds to the front brim, while the rounder part corresponds to the back brim. Note to count from the marked hole on the front brim to the next marked hole on the side. There are a total of 23 holes. Use this method to distinguish between the front and back brim. Both materials are placed with the front side facing up. Start sewing by threading from the bottom through the marked hole on the hat crown material. Then, thread from the bottom through the marked hole on the back brim. The second needle should separately go through the second hole of each material. Then keep sewing with the double needle sewing method. Stop sewing when reaching the 2 marked holes on the side. Now we've reached the marked hole. Next, take one of these small pieces. They don't have a specific front or back. Sew along with one of the small pieces at the marked hole, ensuring it's placed on the inside. After sewing up the small piece, proceed with regular sewing for one hole. Next, sew in the headband material. It doesn't have a specific front or back, but be careful not to place it in the wrong direction. Take note of the hole in the middle of the two materials. It's meant for spacing. Then keep sewing normally. Sew up to the marked hole and check if it corresponds correctly. If it does, proceed to sew as usual. If it doesn't match, you'll need to take it apart and sew it again. The thread are enough, don't worry about it. After sewing the headband material, similarly sew a single hole. Next, add the other small piece and sew it using the same method. After sewing, secure the thread at the back. Take a look at the result after sewing. When you have the piping, locate the interface, then align it with approximately 10 holes to the right of this position. The key is not to align the interface completely with this position. Measure the thread to be 4 times the length of the sewn part, then thread the needles. Start sewing from the hole on the brim corresponding to this marked hole, aligning it roughly. There isn't a specific hole here. Take the leather piping strip and wrap it around the piping and brim like this, aligning it according to the hole positions. Please note that the interface of the piping should be positioned slightly towards the right. Start sewing from the second hole of the leather piping strip, then proceed with regular sewing for the complete circle. When you are almost done sewing, trim off the excess piping strip. The piping strip should extend 2 extra holes beyond the unsewn section. Trim the rest. Since there is 1 hole left unsewn here, leave 3 holes, then trim off the excess. Make sure to count accurately and avoid cutting it to short. After sewing, secure the thread at the back. take a look at the result after sewing. Next, take this string and thread it through each small piece as shown, then tie a knot. The hat is finished. Appreciate your choice of Babylon leather. Thank you for choosing us. Wishing you the acquisition of valuable skills during your time here. If you've enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. For more information about this DIY leather kit, check out the link in the bio. Thanks for watching.